hey, that we actually look like a playoff team, bro. Like, no linebackers, no problem. No Tremaine Edmonds, no problem. No TJ Edwards, no problem. That was something I was concerned about coming into this game, was the red zone efficiency. And it looked like we did pretty good in the red zone today. Caleb Williams had an ugly turnover at the beginning of the game in his end zone, man. He threw the ball. You kind of want to give Ben Johnson a little bit more showed up, man. Colston Loveland showed up. I got Colston in here, man. Then we had the defense show up, man. Nashawn Wright with an interception. Him actually coming down and blitzing and tackling the running back. Then we had Montez Sweat almost all team and resiliency. Yeah, man, you got to give it up to the Chicago Bears, man, for being resilient, for being clutch, for not quitting. Like Ben Johnson, what he's able to do for this team right now. Gordon, Terrell Smith, man, who else, man? You can write a book on who all the fucking people are going right now, bro. It's unbelievable. So, man, they're doing a hell of a job with this team right now, man. It's a hell of a job, bro. Press conference right now, man. So, yeah. So let me get ready to pull this up in the background. Yeah, man. McLeod. Yeah, I mean, the two of the next three games are. What's happening, my dog?
The Bears are who we thought they were.
The Bears are who we thought we were. Yes, sir.
Hey, salute to everybody in the CNG podcast that had the Bears winning this week, man. I know it must feel really good. Gotta admit, man, on my way back to the South Side, I'm feeling a little arrogant today. You know, not too much out of pocket. But my quick thoughts are 5 scoring possessions, multiple touchdowns, efficiency in the red zone, points of references that we made, G. Red zone efficiency. It had to be a check mark, and had to be a check mark, and it shows that you build off your Cincinnati game against the Bengals when you had opportunities in the red zone that didn't necessarily capitalize, even though you had multiple scoring drives. The Bears didn't shoot themselves in the foot too many times today against an opponent defensively, but you could tell how well coached that the Steelers are, because they gave them a tough time in terms of, you know, thought they were comfortable, and Pittsburgh put some pressure on them in terms of making them stay on their point, so to speak. You know what I mean? The big time players came to perform. Colston Loveland, you gotta love the opportunity he got one-on-one in the red zone, G. One-on-one, quick slant route. That's what we've been talking about. Big Daddy Warbucks is what I'm calling. When you get in the goal line, 84, give it to Big Daddy Warbucks. Got to give big kudos to Caleb for putting the ball where he needed to be. DJ Moore getting the end zone. Enough said there. You got to feed your top paid player on offense, and they did that. Salute to Ben Johnson, keeping it simple and not outclassing himself. I want to give a big shout out to the double wide receiver wide receiver reverse today. Trickeration at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. Salute to Ben Johnson on that play call. I would have loved to see the Bears go over 175 yards on the ground, but you know what? I'm willing to deal with what we got today and get a successful victory. And we hold serve on home. That's been my biggest point of reference so far, G. Not to make it too long-winded, but taking care of business at home. I'm really proud of the beloved for getting it done.
Yeah, man. So, Shy, man, since we got you in here, man, just, you know, you said a lot of great things, man. And we've been specifically talking about the red zone. Now, we both was like, there's no way in the world that Ben Johnson really believed that he's not going to do 50-50 passes, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, or one-on-one. Let's just say one-on-ones in the red zone better. You know what I mean? And he came out and he gave Colston Loveland one, and he gave DJ Moore another one. Then DJ got lucky on the touchdown in the middle of the field on the offsides. But I think Ben Johnson just decided not to do the cute shit today. You know what I mean, Shot?
He kept it simple for his offense. You know, one of the things that happened against Cincinnati, when he had an opportunity to put his foot on their necks, he got cute. One of them was on a 4th down, and the other one was on the 3rd down in the red zone. And both of those situations led to field goals. Now, if you take a touchdown off the board early, when the Bears scored 7 and the Steelers came back on 2 scoring possessions back-to-back to put themselves up, instead of him getting cute and staying with his tendencies, he showed that he looked at the playbook. He understood that his team was successful doing a couple of things. And he rolled with those things until the team was able to capitalize and get points off of it. So It's a learning moment and a learning opportunity based on experience. And it looks like Ben Johnson isn't too proud to do what needs to be done.
And that's what you want from your coach. Like, yeah, your philosophy is your philosophy, your scheme is your scheme, but you got to go with what works for what your players got to do. Right, CJ? So, CJ, just what's your thoughts on the overall game today? Anything you want to talk about, man? Caleb Williams, man, he was on point today. He's not as accurate as we need him to be right now, but I've been preaching this whole time. I don't give a damn about accuracy right now in year one necessarily under Ben Johnson. I care about the red zone. I want to see some stat padding in the red zone. Help him get his numbers up. You know what I'm saying? Some touchdowns, get his confidence. So CJ, just what's your thoughts on the game so far, big dog?
I mean, it was a pretty good game plan they had. Caleb got the ball in the end zone, scored for DJ, getting a touchdown, and he was hitting his receivers. But shout out to the defense today, man. And I thought the defense was gonna have a tough time today, and they showed up.
So speaking of the defense, man, we got this young man right here, Nahshon Wright, man. You know what? Let's talk about Montez, man, because Montez has probably been on a 3 to 4 game, almost like a tear, man. He had 2 sacks today. He could have had 3 sacks today, CJ. Man, he's putting together a good run in the time where we need him to be great, which is in the late season, which is in November football, December football. Yeah. Well, he's stringing together games, CJ. So go ahead and speak about Montez Sweat real quick, man, and just give us your thoughts on what the big fella was providing today, man.
I mean, it's good to see Montez step up when we need him. Especially when these games are getting close down to the end of the season, down to the wire, and he's showing up. So I thought it was his best game today. He was active. He was moving his arm. He was moving his arms. He was pushing that the offensive lineman back, and he was making an impact.
He was. So Shaw, man, you've been critical of Montez like we all have been. You know what I mean? And it's fair, it's warranted. But at the same time, when it's time to criticize, we got to criticize. When it's time to give it flowers, we do that as well. So just what's your thoughts on Montez tonight, man?
I thought that the Bears did a very good job in putting him situations where he would be one-on-one and going up against Fashanu, who's a solid right tackle. It was a solid matchup one-on-one. 2 very strong players at their position. But one thing that you saw Montez is played a little angry today. Sometimes when you watch Montez, because he's not the most vocal or he's not the most, expressive player on the field, that sometimes we feel like he's not playing hard or his motor isn't there. So it was very good to see the production match what he does week in and week out, which is play the run very well, very sound, very good fundamental player. It's good to see the numbers of sacks or actual productive quarterback hits reflect on the stat sheet. And I think that's really what it comes down to, man. For all season, he's put the work in. Good to see him get the recognition he should deserve after a performance like that. That's what you pay a guy $25 million for, to put the bread on the toast. Put the butter on the toast. Point blank, period. So you got to salute your defensive captain and doing what the damn necessary job was today. And that was getting to the quarterback and knocking him down. Point blank, period. On a day where you had the amount of injuries that the Bears did, it was key for him to have the type of game that he did, brother. So, I called him out early when we looked at this game and this matchup, and I'm glad he showed me that he's the man that we thought he was.
I love it, man. But we're going to get into some comments, man. We got Donna Lear saying we did not hear Ozzy's name all game. Did we let a low-key draft a banger? We saying Montez, don't call it a comeback sweat. We got Jake with a hit. What up, Jake? He said, what's up, boys? Bear down, baby. We good. We good. Yeah, we're 8-3, man. Nothing to complain about today. Then we got Isabella saying, yes, in the red zone efficiency against the defense that is not terrible. I believe the Steelers are number 12 in defense in the NFL right now. So red zone efficiency against them is meaningful. That's what I'm talking about, man. In order to take that leap, Shad or CJ, to be a real contender in the playoffs or Super Bowl or for a conference NFC championship, you have to score in the red zone, man. Like we were not good for majority of the season in the red zone. So this is something that you can grow from. You played a good team again. Caleb was money for a lot of things he did today. But at the end of the day, the Bears are becoming a team that you throw anything at us, shot, we're going to be able to respond. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to be able to respond. Like, how many times do we have to not come in a situation without our starter cornerbacks, our starting linebackers, our starting left tackle? Like, every week we're coming into a game where nothing is ideal and nothing is perfect for us to win a game. But we're coming into every game and flipping the script and just balling, bro. The amount of buy-in that the Chicago Bears players have for Ben Johnson right now is all time. Nobody flips. Make sure you guys turn your sound up.
How those things trend here this week, and whether we'll have them for the next game or not. But really proud of the guys. Thought they did a phenomenal job just responding. I knew we were decimated in certain areas, and yet it's easy the easy thing is to say, woe was me, and our guys didn't do that. They just stepped up and kept battling through. It happens to most teams each season too, where your depth gets tested, and just so happens it was this week for us. And so can't say enough good things about the linebackers that stepped up in that game. D-Jack was our starting Mike, and he called that game. He was the green dot. And I thought he did a great job. We thought Ruben was going to be our will linebacker, and he goes down with the injury early in the game, and Eamon comes in, and he doesn't miss a beat for a guy that really hasn't played a whole lot of football this year. So that was so encouraging to see. McLeod takes Tyreek's spot on the outside, and he's out there competing just like he has all year long. On the offensive side, we got, Theo's down, and Ozzie steps up at left tackle, and then Jonah goes down for a little bit, and Luke Newman gets thrown in there at guard. And so that was the type of game it was. And I just think that's the type of guys that we have, the caliber of people that we have. They just keep fighting away and keep plugging away. So it was great to get number 8, and they'll enjoy it here tonight, and tomorrow we'll be in the building on a short week and ready for the next game. So go ahead and open up from there.
With that injury, with all the injuries that are happening to your team, it seems natural for someone to have low morale after that. What is your message, or what is your message to your team to fight through all of
This is the NFL. So this is what happens when you play a 17-game season. And it just so happened back half of the season's when it caught up to us a little bit. And, we'll get some of the reinforcements back at some point. But until then, we got to hold down the fort. And so that's what we'll do. And these guys are going to go out and compete. This is what we've been practicing for, what we've been training for all along. The coaching staff has known this. All of our practice squad players know it's highly likely that they'll get called upon at some point. And it's just, I can't say enough good things about the guys that stepped up today to help us win that ball game.
what did you make of Jennings?
Once again, I got to go look at that tape. But 31 points on offense, and that's always a good thing when you get over 30. So, from my perspective, we probably timeouts because we're going to need those later on.
8-3, man. 8-3, bro.
Part of their calling card. And so we've done a solid job of capitalizing on that. I think we're second in the league in points off turnovers. And so we really needed that there today. You certainly felt it, with Shawnee's interception there on the sideline. The whole sideline kind of ignited, gave us a spark, and offense was able to capitalize on that and score our first touchdown of the game. So it's good to see that complementary football, and we're going to need more of that here going forward.
Like on the sideline and maybe during the week, just kind of keeping track of all the guys who are down, and what does it say about DA about how everything came together today?
Yeah, no, I think you can't understate the importance of these guys. I'm talking about the coaching staff. That's all three phases. They do a phenomenal job of piecing this thing together. We meet early in the week and we kind of forecast how we think it's going to go. And then the week of practice kind of dictates who's going to be up and who's going to be down to a degree. But, each week's a little bit different story. And like I said, you got different guys stepping up and answering that bell. And that's why the week of preparation is so important for us too. These young players, they get a chance to instill confidence in the coaching staff and find a role and a niche when there's an opportunity available. So, it was good.
Just a housekeeping thing. Do you expect him back this year?
Who? Tremaine? I think so. Yeah.
The touchdown to DJ on the free play.
Yeah.
Just the recognition of how Karen Caleb and DJ.
Yeah, it was something that we thought we might be able to get them to jump off sides. It's such a good pass rushing group. We were trying to find ways to slow them down a little bit, and that was an opportunity for us to work our cadence. And I thought the execution of it was really well done. Something we've been working on since the springtime through training camp, and everybody on offense has slowly but surely gotten better at that. And so great job by Drew pulling the trigger, seeing it out of his periph, and then Caleb finding the open receiver. It's really well done.
Rodgers wasn't going to play. What's the message to the team 2 hours before?
Nothing. We just keep playing. Yep. Doesn't matter who's out there.
What's the feedback to Caleb after the strip sack?
Just hold on.
Cheers, bro. Bring on them Eagles, man. We want birds. Bears. You want to eat some birds, bro.
Can't have 'em.
It's time to eat some birds.
They're not okay. So we're well aware of that.
At this point,
You got it. Yeah, you got it.
you've got a really quick turnaround here. What is your focus in the next couple of days? Do you turn the page tonight and go on to Philly, or how did your routine change in this?
Well, it's something we've been mindful of the moment the schedule came out. And so our coaches, I know our defensive coaches were certainly in the office a little bit later towards the end of the week there, getting ahead. We'll have some coaches go into the office after the game here tonight. And then, tomorrow it's going to be full steam ahead. So we actually get an extra day. Normally you go Sunday to Thursday at least once a year. So Sunday to Friday is actually going to be pretty nice.
What impressed you about Montez's performance today, especially?
He's been heating up since the bye week. Tez has, and you've just felt it each week. He's seen.
Yeah, Montez has definitely been better since the bye, bro.
So,
good question. Good,
he had
yeah.
2, is that right? And had a chance for a third. It felt like out there from my count, but it's good to see that come on just like that. I feel him. I feel Grady. I feel Book. I feel all those guys, and it's. Whenever we get that 2-score lead there, that's when it certainly starts playing in our favor a little bit more as well.
Something unlocked, as you mentioned the buy. Was it something that you guys sat down and figured out, or is it just a function of he's just been?
No, I think he's capitalizing on those opportunities. But he's been a good player for a long time. So it's just, it's been really good to see though.
We talked during the week, about the middle 8. What did you like about, especially the way you came out of the half and Caleb, I think 5 for 5 on that drive, just in terms of responding to halftime with the first half?
Yeah, did a nice job there before halftime, getting the field goal. Could have a little bit cleaner operation just as a whole unit there throughout that, but we were able to get the 3, and then defense came and got us a stop to start the second half, and offense did a nice job piggybacking on it. You kind of I just feel the flow of the game sometimes. I think Jeff Joniak just told me there's 18 straight passes. I don't think of those things in the moment. I just kind of, what do I feel like is going to work best next? But I thought Caleb did a nice job there in that middle 8 of finding some completions for us. Thank you.
So he finally did address the 18 straight pass plays. That's one thing that really got my britches a little hot, man. The abandonment of the run game when you've averaged 150 on the ground, G. As the weather changed, man, I really hope that this guy doesn't go with his tendency as opposed to the game in front of him, man. It was an opportunity to really lean on the run game, and I guess he was going more for feel at that time because he looked at that secondary and saw opportunities and mismatches that he wanted to take advantage of. And even though Caleb wasn't hitting them, they did get a little rhythm going, and I think it's just kind of him pressing the offensive pass game to say, hey, we've got to be better. We've got to be better. And, they came through. They came through for the most part. And I think a lot of that probably had to do with the injuries on the offensive line and he not trusting the fact that those backups would be as good in the run blocking situations as the starters would be with Jonah going down. So I'm going to give him a little bit of a reprieve, but I don't necessarily like a coach throwing it 18 straight times. I just that bothers me, and it makes me feel a little some type of way.
Yeah, 18 passes is a lot. That's Ben is a I think a lot of that is growth right now. I don't think that's going to be Ben once Caleb gets to a certain part of his growth. I don't see Ben once Caleb really start hitting on plays. I don't think Ben is going to call as many throws. Once Caleb continues to learn how to be accurate, because he wasn't that accurate today. People can come up here and say whatever you want to say. Caleb was not as accurate as we would like him to be. So with that being said, I think Ben is going to continue to keep dialing up plays for him to throw, just for him to get better. I think Ben really likes to play efficient football, and I think that's really running the ball, throw when you need to. If you're on a rhythm, I'm gonna keep calling it. But for where we're at right now with Caleb Williams, he's still in a he's learning the offense. He just got to get comfortable with it. But I don't see Ben really. I know it's right now, but I don't see Ben once Caleb really start cooking. I don't see him. To me personally, I don't see him really just keep throwing the ball because it won't make sense for a young quarterback. CJ, like Caleb is still raw to me. He's still young to me, so he has to not only win games, CJ, when the game is playing, but he got to really grow Caleb during the game. And sometimes I think that's a lot of passes. What you think, CJ? Your mic is muted. See? Oh, hold on. We got somebody else up here. Hold on. We got Taz up there.
Yeah, I mean, we understood that we had all our starting linebackers down. Coach just preached we got to pick them up and compete on all three phases and have each other's back.
Montez, can you take us through the strip sack, just kind of what you saw?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a play action or something like that. I seen the tight end, gave him a move, came around, sacked the quarterback. I seen the ball was out. I think a couple people tried to pick it up and run. I seen it on the ground. I just covered it up.
Montez, what's been the difference for you personally, having, especially after the bye, having come alive, putting up so many sacks? What's been the difference for you in your game and your preparation that's led to this?
I think I'm just taking advantage of my opportunities. Early in the season, I felt like I was playing good ball, but the stats is starting to come through for me, and it's a blessing. But we still got a lot more left on the table to get cleaned up.
Kind of pride you taking the idea that you guys continue to finish out these close games and stack these wins.
Say it again.
What kind of pride you guys take in being able to finish these games and stacking these wins in these close games?
Yeah, we take a lot of pride in it. We understand that hasn't necessarily been a story around here in the past years, ever since I've been here. But we're creating a history of competing in these close games, and we feel pretty comfortable in it. We know when we're down or it's a close game, we're still in a fight, and I feel that coming from all phases, and so we just all fighting.
What was going through your mind when you had that Rodgers wasn't kind of
I mean, I would have loved to play Aaron Rodgers. He's a great QB. I sacked him a couple years ago. I would have loved to get him again. But I mean, we just whoever's out there, we got to do what we got to do.
How did Mason go? Did that change what they were doing at all?
I mean, it probably changed for them. It didn't necessarily change for us. DA had the same game plan, whether it's him up or Aaron Rodgers. So, yeah, like I said, whoever they throw out there, we take advantage of it and do what we got to do.
So many new players and you guys calling the defense. What was it like in the huddle before snaps?
I mean, it was great. I mean, kudos to D-Jack and Hippolyte and all the guys. I mean, Eamon, all the guys who stepped up, and they did a great job. They was flying around, and they did a great job giving us the calls too.
How do you just describe the way this team keeps winning these one-score games?
Like I said, the history here hasn't necessarily been that. Ben preaches us fighting in those close games, and it's just not the same old Bears.
You almost had a third sack. Like maybe he slipped away from you there. What happened?
Yeah, I got to finish that. It's the difference between being good and great. It would have been my first hat trick, so maybe we can try again next game.
What's it like to see Brisker get the big play on fourth down?
I mean, yeah, like I said, everybody is stepping up in all phases. He ended the game for us. Grady made a great play the series before getting his hand up. I know that's pretty ideal, seeing that he's only 5 feet. That's it. Thank y'all.
Yeah, we got some comments. Let me hit a couple of comments, man. We got Jake said, let's represent our Chicago football again. I miss it. Strong team, no doubt. Strong coaching style. Be proud winning is back in Chicago. Absolutely. Shot absolutely right. Respect where it's due. Craig says, bear down. What up, Craig? There go Caleb.
Twice in the end zone today.
Yep.
How do you think his presence and your connection with him really helps to improve your offense?
Yeah, I think being able to
obviously get DJ going. Having 2 touchdowns, I know is big for our confidence as relationship, things like that for this year. And then also just, having one of our star guys get going, it only builds momentum for us as a team. And so it was good to see that. It was good to, get him in the end zone a couple of times. I know he's been wanting that. And, that's something that doesn't always happen, even if you're primary in routes and people cover you, all of that. So being able to get him, in the zone a couple of times, we're excited for it. And we got to keep growing that and keep building on that. But, yeah, they ended up just dropping DJ. Saw I think Ramsey was at safety, ended up taking the number 3 receiver, and the corner didn't overlap or anything like that, or the defender over DJ just dropped him and didn't run with him. And so went through the read, went middle first, went to DJ, and he ran a great route, just threw the ball, and he made a great play.
The strip sack.
Yep.
I know it's probably as a quarterback hard to just go down for safety, but is that what you're supposed to go do in that spot? Or?
Yeah, it's what I'm supposed to do is throw the ball away, and just throw the ball away, live to fight for another down, and yeah, that's it.
How do you look at a game like this? You get the touchdown passes. You guys had an opportunity to put them away.
Yep.
Get the win. I mean, how do you kind of balance that as you assess yourself?
Yeah. You don't apologize for any wins in this league, and I think that
you damn right we don't apologize for no wins.
Organization over there, and they got a bunch of great athletes, a bunch of great coaches, and things like that. So, like I said, you don't apologize, but you do understand where you can be as a team, what we could have done out there, and that's the frustrating part. It starts with me, and it funnels down everybody else. Missing a few passes and a couple passes that recently that I've been kind of just surgical with, and missed those passes today, and it was frustrating. But trying to stay positive for the guys. Just knowing what type of game it's going to be. They were running the ball well and things like that, and so they were using a lot of clocks. We weren't going to have many possessions, and so.
What up, Steve?
For those guys, and not get too frustrated.
Bear down, Steve.
And then from there, we gotta, it's. I said it before. We gotta learn from. It's nice when you get to learn from wins, and you find ways when you have mess ups or all these different things to find ways to win, but also understand that we have so much left in the tank and we can be so much better.
Montez said it's not the same old Bears right now.
Yep.
Do you feel the idea of kind of turning the tide here?
Yeah, I mean. We're an 8-3 team in the National Football League, and so we feel good where we're at, but we do got to get better. And I would say, we don't feel like we're the same old Bears. We pull through for each other when it matters most, and so we got to keep getting better. Like I said, it starts with me on my side, and then we'll keep growing from there. Yeah, we ended up lining up wrong, and trying to get it all situated, and didn't want to run a bad play or a play that was all messed up from the jump, and so move back a couple yards and try and go get it from there.
You said this week that you wanted to go say hello to Rodgers.
Yep. Yeah. Right after the game, we end up saying hello, get healthy, and and moved on from there.
How important was that drive coming out of halftime? I think you went 5 for 5.
Yep.
Yeah, Steve, you ain't lying. When your defense is beat up, and a win is a win. Absolutely, bro.
Yeah, it was good for us just because kind of how right before half kind of played out, to be able to get the momentum going back in our favor and things like that, and get moving along back where we want to kind of get going. And we got to have more of those from my side to running to whatever it is. Offensive, we gotta have more of those because we got a bunch of talent.
My bad, y'all.
Great coaches, and they were doing a great job today. And like I said, we got to have more of those.
The locker room seemed a little tense today than it's been after other wins. Is that just a sign of you guys getting kind of used to and expecting these kind of outcomes?
No. You don't ever get used to winning. It's one of the best feelings in the world, and so you don't get used to it. I think y'all just kind of came in a little late. Everybody was dancing and having fun, going around shaking hands, celebrating and congratulating each other, and showing appreciation to each other, because it takes all of us, and that's something that we said in the locker room. It takes a village, we had guys step up, and step up big for us today. And you know, you can't, like I said, you never get tired of those, and you can't get tired of these type of wins.
You were proud of guys stepping up. Honestly, watching that defense today do what they did with a lot of guys getting their numbers called. What was that like?
Yeah, it's what we needed. And so we didn't expect anything less, but we are appreciative. We are proud of the guys that did step up, because it was a big game for us, you know, because this was the only game we had this week. And so, you know, being able to focus on that, being able to, you know, get everybody, you know, going, having confidence, having belief in themselves is important. And then from there, we got to go out there and execute. And, you know, the guys did a great job today.
You mentioned some frustration with your accuracy.
Yep.
When you're in a funk like that, how do you pull out of it?
Yeah, you next play mindset, and then from there you just got to go out there and execute.
Is it footwork, or what do you?
Today I just in the beginning it didn't feel like I got into a good rhythm. I was missing passes and it was it was kind of weird. It was just I wasn't too frustrated like the couple weeks ago where I was just missing and I got supremely frustrated and things like that. I understood, and I wrote on my notes for myself to stay positive for myself, but also the guys. And, I think I did a solid job with that this week and, just was missing. And it was, like I said, on passes and routes that I've been hitting the past couple of weeks and been pretty good with. And so, we'll figure it out. We'll go back and watch and figure out why.
Yeah, look at that first kind of stuff by the defense at 4th and 1, touch push situation. It was big, goal line or 4th down stand.
Mm-hmm.
What did that do for the offense then?
Yeah, it's great in those moments. Those are momentum plays, especially when the defense gets going and they make a big play like that for us. And we want to go down and score. Whether it's turnover on downs, a big 4th down stop, and things like that, or it's the turnovers that they get for us. So we'll keep doing a good job with it and doing a better job with it in those moments. But it is a momentum shifter and things like that for us.
What are you seeing over the middle today? All 3 of those touchdowns.
Yeah, I think this year I think I've been pretty solid over the middle. It's something that we've worked on and something I've been working on. This year, but also throughout my career, is just finding ways to be able to attack all 53, and make the defense have to cover all of that. And so, I think today, coach did a great job calling the plays. The guys did a great job running great routes, and the O-line, they did a hell of a job today. That 1 sack was on me, but they did a hell of a job today protecting me versus that D-line. And so, with that being said, just deliver a good ball and let the guys go make plays for us.
It's too early for Bears fans to start thinking playoffs.
For them, if they want to think that, that's fine. But for us, it's just the next game. And like I said, if we go 1-1, which is 1-0, in each week, we'll be exactly where we want to be, and they'll be here, supporting us, cheering us on like they always do. Awesome. The Bears.
What up, Andy?
What's up, guys? How are you?
Yeah, y'all go ahead and cook, man. I'm on the phone call with somebody very important, man. But y'all go ahead and cook.
Big Andy, what's up with you, brother? Happy post game, man. On a Bears victory Sunday. It's a sunny day for Steelers thumping. Your word, sir.
Well, like I've said many times, being from Allentown, Pennsylvania, it feels really good. So I can remind some of my friends from Pennsylvania that we just beat your ass. But
extra chili for him. Okay,
yeah.
Let's get it.
No, I mean, overall, win is a win. I mean, I'm happy we got the win. I mean, we had a depleted linebacker unit, but it's a win and a win. We moved to 8-3. We're still NFC North Division leaders. Hopefully, we get some reinforcements real soon. But I mean, I thought we played well. We played well enough to win. Obviously, Caleb wasn't perfect. He's got to hit some of these open throws. And these guys have got to get the ball if it hits their hands. They got to catch them.
We're going to talk about that specifically on offense in terms of areas of improvement or points of reference for the game. But go ahead to your point with Montez.
Montez Sweat, you got to make that sack. You got to make that sack. I mean, you played a great game, two sacks, a strip sack, fumble. You got to make that last sack. You got to get 3 sacks for the game. You got to get him to the ground. That's what we're paying you for. If you would have made that play, there would have been game over right there. You got to make that play.
With it. Yeah.
But I mean, he played well. He played 2 sacks, strip. I mean, He played well, but you got to make that play. I mean, I thought the kid that filled in, Alonzo Jackson? I thought he played well. He ended up with 14 tackles, 13 tackles, 14 tackles. I thought he played well. I mean, but yeah, like I said, a win is a win.
Considering the situation that the linebackers were put in, I think that you had to be feeling a little bit positive about what that unit was able to do this week, right?
Yeah, considering we have no linebackers left, and then Hippolyte went down, we had to bring Akbon in, and Akbon actually went down. We had to bring in Carlo Jones Jr. for player 2. I mean, we were lucky to get this win because our linebacking crew is so depleted now. But I'll take it.
What's interesting, I want to ask you a question. This is what I thought Dennis Allen would be maybe the X factor, Andy. Why not a lot of nickel? Why not a creative dime? You know, when you have the amount of defensive backs, even though you're in your third and fourth string, you know, spots at the outside spot at corner, you got more serviceable corners than you do linebacker in terms of guys that you can trust. In that situation, you really make it a situation where you're forcing Pittsburgh to stick with the run the whole game, which they did a good job with. But do you think Dennis Allen maybe missed an opportunity there to get to go against his tendencies?
You know, we were sitting there watching the game.
Yeah.
We noticed that it seemed like Pittsburgh's game plan was to do short intermediate throws, quick throws. They want to keep the they didn't want to let the game come on Mason Rudolph's shoulders the way I see it. Because you could tell when he threw the deep ball, he was not that good when he had to throw the deep ball or when he had a little bit of pressure on him. It looks like their game plan was short intermediate stuff. And I think maybe then you maybe want to bring in more linebackers around the line and not as many defensive backs. I get what you're saying. I don't know why he ran the defense the way he ran it. But, I mean, I think, of course, we're banged up at corner. I mean, Tyreek Stevenson never came back in.
He didn't come back in the game. He did not.
So we were banged up at corner again today, which we've been banged up at corner all year. I mean, I'm hoping we just get some players back. I think that would help us a lot.
CJ, do you think the opponent wasn't talented enough offensively to expose the attrition on the Bears defense today? Because we saw Cincinnati with Joe Flacco a few weeks back with his full coop of weapons up in Cincinnati, and he put 400 on a defense that had Tremaine Edmonds, by the way. But do you think that the Bears' deficiency in terms of who they didn't have didn't necessarily show his head when it should have against a better opponent? CJ, can't hear you, baby.
I do. I'll say I do.
Okay. What you think, Andy?
I just think Mason Rudolph, I think he's an okay quarterback, but I think their game plan was short, intermediate stuff. Get the ball out of his hands quick.
Yeah, they didn't challenge the Bears defense at all, did they?
No, not really.
I didn't think
and when
so.
They did challenge it, Nation Wright got the interception.
Definitely
maybe
did.
He should have 2 of them. I think maybe he should have 2 of them, if I'm not mistaken.
He definitely should have had 2. And this is 2 weeks in a row that he. Let me credit. Hey, G, can I do a pause real quick? We got to give a salute to Al Harris, defensive back coach or corner coach for the Chicago Bears. I don't think he gets enough love in this city about the work that he's done with these defensive backs. You haven't had Gordon all fucking season. You lost J-Line in less than 3 games. Like, we got to be real about what's going on in our secondary. We should average 400 yards given up every week. Now, this is where I get pissed in my trousers with Dennis Allen, is because you had to, at some point, create some type of pass rush utilizing your DBs or your linebackers, because you don't have the type of playmakers on your back 7 that next week when you see Hurts is going to get you 350. And he's not a guy that you can book him for that. But against secondary that we're going to be rolling out without Tyreek Stevenson, it may become murder in Philly. Now, I'm not saying the offense is going to do anything one way or another. But what concerns me is even with Montez's pressure today, he actually should have had 3 sacks, Andy. You should have been
Yes.
able to tell them they owe you an extra beer because your defensive end did exactly what he should have did. Would have etched him the defensive player of the week for the Bears if he did it. No hat trick means that it's just a good performance. We need better than a good performance next week and moving forward because the secondary is not going to give you any help in terms of coverage. I'm just wanting to get that off my chest.
By all means, man. Yeah, we got to be great, man. Like, we're playing against the Eagles next week, man, and it is what it is. You know, but Andy, man, just what's your thoughts on that, man? On what he said about Al Harris, the job he's doing. You know, Nahshon Wright is looking like a player that they're literally getting the best and the most out of him right now, man. Like, he's literally been a bright spot in a spot where we was really suffering, man. According to JJ being gone and Kyler Gordon and now Tyreek hurt, like, we got him for cheap. And he's tall. He's a lanky corner, so you're not going to get really nothing over top on him consistently because he's going to come down to the ball, man. So just can you speak on what Al Harris, you know, what he's been able to do with this type of corner, man, and, you know, just what's your thoughts on Nahshon so far this season, man?
I mean, if you look at Nahshon Wright, he's a steal in terms of his contract. I think he's what, 1 year? I think we got him for $2 million or something. That's a steal. Face it, that's an absolute steal for an interception leader this year in the NFL. That's a steal. I mean, he's 6'2". I like his size. He does get some flags here and there, but for the most part, I think he's played well. I think he's playing extremely well. I think when Jalen Johnson comes back, Kyler Gordon comes back, Stevenson, Gardner Webb Johnson, and Nahshon Wright, we got 5 pretty good corners. I mean, I like that, but overall, I think if you're talking about money, he's been a steal. He's a bargain. 1 year, $2 million or something. I just look up his contract, but it's not a lot. He's an
2.4, which is way less than Dio Adangbo, but that's another comment.
Yeah, he's a steal for $2.4 million. That's a steal.
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
It is.
And we got some comments, man. You know, let's see what we got. Sorry, but the guys are cooking right now, man. So I missed a lot. I was on the important phone call. So let's see, man. CJ, let's pick up some of these comments, man. Let me see what I got for the people. Where we can go. Oh, we got one from Bellin saying, can we talk about how Williams made some serious mental errors early in the game that led to him getting strip sacked in the end zone, giving up a touchdown? How that usually leads to a demoralization of our team and a loss. But that did not happen. These are not the same Bears. Great comment, TJ. Just kick us off with this one, bro, because that was a disgusting play by him, man. Like, you know, he's so talented in his mind, CJ. He's so talented. How many times we see him on the picture, CJ? He's smiling, running by defenders. He's running by defensive line. He's just smiling like, yeah, I'm running by. I'm just Michael Vick y'all ass. That shit caught up with his ass today, CJ. It caught up with him. And I said that's a growth moment for him. You know what I mean? Caleb isn't a finished product, bro. And he has to understand situational football a lot better than he does. So she's right. Like, that was a serious mental error by him. And luckily we were able to come back from that. But see, just what's your thoughts on Caleb Williams being a little bit too friendly
on the field? And you got to understand before the ball snap, how long I'm going to have to get my feet right to do what I need to do on this play. And if it's alert, you got to have in your head what you're going to do. You can't blame the coach. You can't blame the players. You can't blame the offensive line, the receivers, the running back. The quarterback has to stop doing stuff that looks like you eat Twinkies on the sideline, fam. These are situations
not Twinkie shy.
No, bro, because not only would that break your confidence, that will kill your offense in terms of the way that they've been running. Like, we haven't really hit a brick wall on offense where the ball just doesn't move. We saw it in one game where the first 2 drives, they couldn't move the ball, and that was last week. And it still wasn't really a clean offensive game. What about a game for 4 quarters you go up against a top 5, top 10 defense, and it's going to be a shit show? Can he handle the mental fortitude required in 4 quarters not to make mistakes? I don't trust it.
I don't trust it. I don't trust
it.
I don't trust Caleb because he still huffs and puffs too much on the sideline for me. He's still crazy and accurate at the worst times for me. Like I say, man, Caleb Williams is probably one of the best. Everything they said about him as a prospect, you're starting to see come to light. You know what I mean? And this, like I say, he has to just keep growing, man. It's dumb shit. I'm not making an excuse for that. But at the same time, he has to be way better. And I think the more he sees his fuck ups, I think he's gonna be better. I just think it's over time. Shaw. That's all I'm saying. Like you talking about,
I respect
going
that,
against
G.
a top
I
10
do.
team. We're going against a top 10 team, whatever your defense you want to call it. We played the Vikings, right? We just played the team that's good.
The Vikings haven't been top 10 on defense all season long, including the first week of the season. And if you put that number up on what their statistics were after they played us, they were 14, and they haven't moved a lot. Andy, you can verify this or not. Do you feel that the Vikings are above a mid or possibly above average defense in any capacity?
I think that defense, that we have to beat that defense in order for us to grow as a team, and we beat that defense, man. Caleb has to beat Ben Flores' defense, bro. He don't give up.
But they didn't have top 10
anything.
defensive talent, G. I'm talking about a team that you're going to see that's fully healthy on a short week in Philadelphia against a great play caller in Vic Fangio.
Right.
Now he has all pro talent at each level. We'll see for 4 quarters.
You right.
If you make dumb mistakes, if it don't turn into points.
I don't trust
That's my point.
No, I don't trust. Hell no, no. But I do believe it's levels to playing against certain where you got to go through it, Shaw. You just got to go through it. We haven't played against a top defense like the Eagles all year. So we're expecting Caleb, who is not accurate, to your point, who has mental lapses, to your point. He's not gonna. I don't think he's gonna probably have his best game against the Eagles. I don't even think we win that game. But for him to be better overall and as a quarterback, he has to go through the suck. He has to go through the shit. So I'm with you, Shot. I don't think he's not gonna play necessarily well. Now, if he does come out there and play well, hey, I'll be shocked as hell, bro. I will be super surprised because he doesn't play well for 4 quarters of a game, bro. He just doesn't. Like, he'll throw crazy 3-4 passes, then he'll throw 5 fucking air mails. He'll just throw some hospital balls. Like, you cannot play that way against an NFL top-ranked defense, a Super Bowl contended team. You cannot play like that. But I do think, Andy, that he's going to have to just go through that shit. This might be his worst. It could potentially, I think it's going to probably be one of his worst games. Come on a short week, too? I don't know, Andy. What you think, man? I just think Caleb got to go through this shit, man. He got to go through a lot of stuff to be great in the NFL, and that comes down to beating good defenses. It is what it is. This shit is what it is.
I mean, we drafted Caleb Williams to be our franchise quarterback. The only way to get to a franchise quarterback is you let him play. If it's a bad game next week, then it's just a bad game. But you just let him go through it, like you said. You let him go through it. You let him learn. You let him mature. You go through practice. You go through film reviews. You sit him down. You say, hey, you should have done this. Shouldn't have done that. Should have done this. This guy was open. This, which I'm sure we're doing. That's what I'm sure Ben Johnson's doing that after every game. He's sitting him down and having these discussions, having these meetings. But the play in the end zone, I agree with you guys 100%. That was a horrible play by Caleb Williams. I'm sure he doesn't even need to be told that. I'm sure Ben Johnson maybe won't even say anything because Caleb Williams already knew it. He knew it the minute it happened. He knows it. And he just has to move on from it. Like you guys said, move on. He made it.
Yeah, we got a couple.
Play. You just move on. That's all you can do is move on.
Yeah, we got Audrey saying, what's up, CNG Podcast? Bear down, let's go. We got Bella CJ. She says, Vic Fangio's defense are always good, even if he doesn't have talented players.
Right.
He has some phenomenal ones in Philadelphia. We cannot afford to make any mistakes or we would lose that game. We're not coming back after a strip sack against Philly. She cook. This my girl, man. She be cooking every time she come here. So, CJ, you agree with Bella? What's up, man? You muted, big dog.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Bella. Like I said earlier, you definitely cannot make mental mistakes against these good defenses. You can't do it. You know, all that Caleb Williams can make a mental mistake and come back and win a game. You're not doing that against the Eagles. It ain't gonna happen.
It ain't gonna happen.
If you got, if he gotta do yoga, whatever it is,
Smoke a blunt.
If he gotta do yoga, whatever the hell he gotta do to get his mind right, I don't know, but those mental mistakes cannot happen against Philly.
Yeah, I agree. So, but Shy, look, man, everybody be critical of your boy right here, DJ Moore, man. Everybody's critical of DJ. I've been in some chats. They want people talking about trade DJ. They so super reactive and everybody's so instant reactive to everything these players are doing, and that's not always good. But just what's your thoughts on DJ Moore, man? Because we've been crying, begging for him and Caleb to get on the same damn page for once. Put DJ Moore in position to score. You know what I'm saying? To make a play. You know what I'm saying? And Ben Johnson even tried to get him to run a touchdown in after having scored 2 touchdowns. So Ben is I think he's smart about reading what's going on in the game. But Shy, speak on DJ Moore, man. We finally saw DJ Moore out there being that animal, being fast, catching. You know what I'm saying? Just it was just good to see that from DJ Moore today, man.
You can count on 2 to be 2 things: a unique player every week, and probably the most misunderstood wide receiver to ever play in a Bears uniform.
Right.
For him to be a number 1 week in and week out, we forget that other teams know that. And they cater their defense centered around taking away 2 first and foremost, right? And the thing about him is, like, he's not the most vocal guy in terms of him demanding the rock week in and week out. He's a football player. I think that Ben Johnson started to feel the temperature that our wide receiver wasn't feeling good about the offense. He wasn't feeling good about football, man. And he made a consummate effort to come into this game plan and ride number 2 as a focal point. And you can see that emphasis also imprinted in the back of the head of 18, because his eyes dictated where he was looking this week. I don't know if anybody paid attention to it live time in broadcast, but you can see Caleb was looking for 2. And we haven't seen him necessarily turn his targets and his radars off of 15 more times in this season than anybody else. So I was very intrigued to see him get 2 touchdowns, being featured in the game. And we also saw another featured red zone opportunity for 84. Shout out to G again for the big call for coasting on the goal line. You put it in the back of the head of the quarterback. Hey, when we're in these situations, the guy gets the ball. You might want to start stacking these up on the chalkboard for that kid and coaching them a little harder when it gets cold, because the Bears can be very explosive, meaning that if they get 5 offensive possessions of scoring, that leads to 35 points. That's when the final maturation of this offense is where I feel I'd be comfortable, because now I know my quarterback's leading the way. That's what we need. Everybody might be patient on their own time. I don't know how y'all feel, but I'm the best player on offense. So for me, that's where it starts. Now, I'm not saying he'll ever get there, but right now the credit's going more towards what Ben's doing in and week out, taking advantage of other teams, than it is Caleb being the helm for 4 quarters. Because there's a lot of, it's a lot of bacon still on the strip. Like, it's a lot of food still on the plate that this kid has left there. You know what I mean? We had situations where the offensive line was heavy penalized. That shored up. We had situations where the run game wasn't drive. Now it's number 1 in the league. We had situations where we top 5 in drops. Right now, touchdowns are going up at a higher rate than 25 points a game than the first quarter of the season. So to me, is the last one to take that step would be the quarterback. So I'm not shitting on Shorty, but that's just how I feel about this development process. He's not leading the team. He's not leading the offense. I'm giving more credence to Ben Johnson at this point.
So, Bobby, you come in on a heater of a topic, man. Hold on, but we got a couple of you came in on a heater, bro. Start cooking right now. He said, Billy said, with the Doones as a kid dropping everything, we really needed 2 to step up. Somebody needs to catch besides them damn tight ends. Then we got Donald, I believe so. The little things matter. His intangible leadership matters. Donald says, but I bet if you ask those guys about his preparation, leadership off the field, it rubs off on them, even if he doesn't show it on the field fully right now. So, Bobby, the Bears won, man. Another with 8-3, but you came in on the heater, and Shaw got a good question. Do you think that Caleb Williams is leading this offense right now? Is he the reason why we're winning?
We led it today. My personal opinion. Whether we can go out there and give him, you know what I'm saying, and critique him fairly, you know, and I agree with some of the things that Sha has previously said when I watch you guys do your all 22, because I think you guys do a excellent job doing that. But I think that today, when you watch your young rookie quarterback go out there and not throw the ball away and give up a sack, fumble, touchdown, like literally, it was the worst play of the season for Caleb Williams. I look at that situation and look at Caleb Williams and see how he bounces back, and he bounced back pretty well. Can we go out there and still say the accuracy still wasn't where it needed to be? Absolutely. Can we go out there and say that he still did not go out there and make plays necessary? We can go out there and criticize him, but when we look at the stats and when we look at the plays, we can say that this young quarterback is growing in front of our eyes. Because for me personally, and I don't know how you guys would all take it, but I think that when you look at Caleb Williams, me personally, we have to look at this as technically year one. Yes, it says year two when you look at his years in the league. But can we all agree that last year, Shane Waldron was more focused on going to McDonald's for an ice cream cone than coaching up his quarterback? I think everyone would agree with that. Is Caleb perfect? No. Has Caleb made his mistakes? Yes. Has Caleb came into this situation and been inaccurate? He was inaccurate on some of the plays that the wide receivers made today. I would have 100% agree with you. But to show some resiliency and give the Chicago Bears the lead to where, we were still a little bit focused on and a little aware on like the mistakes or that cardiac Bears fourth quarter that we normally been getting for the last 4 weeks. We didn't necessarily have that today, at least not to the degree that we seen it the last 4 weeks. So I would say that the quarterback today improved and he showed his resiliency. So I would give him a little bit of credit on that. And I will be willing to hear out the other guys to push back, because I know that Shy gonna push back. He a dog. He a dog. So push back, brother. I know you a dog. I know how you work, brother. What, man?
Go ahead, Shot. Go ahead, man. We got OG Allen here too, man.
Salute to the brethren. Bye. What's happening, brethren? Look, man, I got no quarrels because you're absolutely right. But for my situation, look, when we prepared this feast, the young man was given all the ingredients. I'm a hard grade. The head coach said he wanted 70% completions. He's been nowhere near it.
Facts.
So for me, I'm going off the standards that have been set for us. The entire playbook was set up for him last year. I'm not even going to count that in part of development, even though I believe it's a huge part of development in terms of tracking the trajectory of a quarterback's end of career. He got hit 68 times. That matters. I think this year, the marriage of him and Ben Johnson has allowed him to reset to what you're saying, a new board. Like you can see that now they've had in the whole offseason, they reset him, which has put him on a better trajectory in terms of getting to his peak faster.
Absolutely.
Where I have a problem is him missing wide open 50-50 opportunities, meaning high percentage throws 100%. Down the field. And that's the reason we're having so close games, that we're giving credence to a quarterback who's playing efficient enough to win on the last drive, but not giving the credit to the coach who's game managed the entire 4 quarters to put them in the situation to actually have, or the quarterback who didn't execute between the second and third quarters that could have put that game completely out of the situation, especially when you got a top 5 run game. Like, that is the one thing coming into this year that I did not expect for this team. There was nothing on this roster that spoke to a top 5 run game. Andy, I don't know about you, because I heard you say something in the early part of the season that made me pause in terms of the acquisition of the interior. But I say all that to say is, out of eight victories, how many times was Caleb Williams the most important player in those victories?
4. I would say 4.
I'm gonna say
4.
I'm gonna say, look, and this is, and Shad is completely right. You know, we're living in an era where people have to understand that multiple things can be true. You know what I mean? Multiple things can be true. Caleb is not accurate. Caleb is not. He's leaving a lot of meat on the bone. Pause. You know what I'm saying? He's doing a lot of things wrong, and that's just him having to get better. But what you can put in your backpack with Caleb is scrambling, his ability of play action, his ability to his intermediate throws, his leadership, all of that stuff. To me, you can pack it, you can put it in the bag. And I think that we have the OG Allen in here. What's going on, OG? And I think Caleb understanding that you're not going to be able to get away with it for so long. I don't know who Caleb needs to talk to about his accuracy on certain baby throws he can make. I don't know who he needs to sit down with. He said Aaron Rodgers is his favorite quarterback, but he doesn't throw the ball. He throws a fastball damn near on every throw that he makes. He doesn't have any finesse in a lot of throws that he does. So it's frustrating to a certain extent with Caleb Williams, but it's just coming down to the fact that this is the quarterback that we have for the future, man. He was drafted #1 overall. He doesn't throw in a bunch of interceptions. This is basically his rookie season under Ben Johnson, but at some point, the excuses are going to end, OG. You know what I'm saying? The excuses are going to end. And we're all going to say at one point, he's just not an accurate football player with the ball. At some point, he's going to be who he is as a quarterback. And I don't think we've gotten there yet, OG. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we've gotten there yet. I don't want to put the wheel in front of the buggy. You know what I'm saying? Throw the baby out with the bathwater, whatever you want to call it, right now. So that's what I'm thinking. How do you feel about that, Alan? Like, what's your thoughts on Caleb right now? Because this inaccuracy issues is hurting us, man. It's hurting us. At some point, it's hurting us.
Yeah, I understand. That pass he threw to Coach and Loveland where he double caught it. I was like, man, you're gonna get my boys killed out there, man. Like, Luther Burton ran across the middle today. And I think that was a little bit on Luther. The receivers got to learn how to bog down when they catch the ball. Sometimes just go ahead and take a little stutter step, catch the ball, and don't let the ball get in front of you, because Caleb is not leading you, so you have to protect yourself as a player and bog down and make sure you just catch the ball and not put yourself in harm's way, because Colson could have got the shit knocked out of him, and he really did get knocked the shit out of, but he got up. I was really impressed he caught the ball on the way down. Like, so Caleb, I think it's just a matter of characteristics, like, or attributes. I mean, he's only 6 foot. So his measurements, he's got to throw over 6'3", 6'4" guys, man. So the ball is gonna come out higher. And sometimes they come out a little bit low as far as like when you get into those zones and things like that, where the receivers have to reach back and catch the football. So I think those things can be worked on. Hopefully on the deep passes, I would recommend those trash cans. That's what Drake May and all the North Carolina quarterbacks used to use, was the trash can. You put them in certain landmarks, and if you hit the trash can, that's the equivalent of hitting the receiver. And you're on the move, you're deep passing, and they worked on their accuracy at North Carolina University like that. So, I mean, it's things you can do to work on accuracy, but you can't fix arm strength. So he has arm strength, so you can fix accuracy, but it's just one of them things he's just gonna have to continue to work on. But I wouldn't give up on him. He's only in year 2. I think he can become accurate. I just don't want him to get somebody killed. Right now, he's gonna put you in harm's way with some medicine ball.
Agree.
Yeah, so we just got you in here, OG, man. It was a hell of a win today, man. You know, no matter how anybody how you want to slice it, man. The defense, without any damn linebackers, man. I think I hit up Bobby and said, Bobby, we're gonna have to go out there and play linebacker today, man. We gotta call Mike Singletary and Vernon Urlacher and Briggs and get their ass and get the monsters back, bro. So for that defense to come in and do what it did today, with guys that work at Jules and Mariano's and shit like that, man. What do you have to say? Because I know you want to talk about the defense, man, and I really want to hear your thoughts on the defense and Montez Sweat today. Like, I really want to hear what you got to say, man. So just what's your thoughts on the win today with everything going bad for the defense, linebackers and JJ and Kyler Gordon? Like, this was a statement win to me, Alan.
Yeah.
This was a statement win. Like, it's the second statement win. One was against the Vikings, and this one right here, man. We actually looked like a playoff team to me. Bobby, like that looked like a playoff performance from a team that got depth. That was my first time actually being like, damn, we do look like a playoff team. But just what's your thoughts on the defense today, Alan?
Well, the defense, I'm going to lean on it. Dennis Allen is holding it together with duct tape and bubble gum. So he's just trying to figure out what he's got to do from week to week. That's the testament of a good coach. You just give me a body at that position, and I'm going to scheme it up. I think one of the backups, they had 15 tackles. You know what I'm saying? So the production was there with, the 15 tackles. That's a big feat in football, man. Anything over 10 for a linebacker is good. So the defensive line today kept the linebackers kind of clean. So I want to give my kudos to Grady Jarrett and my guy Big Bill, Juggernaut, keeping the linemen off the linebackers and keeping the running back from getting to that second level. So the defensive line did their job today. Sweat had 2 sacks. He had a 4th fumble. And that's what we pay him for, man. He's got to produce, and he's slowly coming into a good year, and he was the MVP on that defense today. Briscoe came up big late. But, Briscoe, he played a good game too. So I'm really impressed. And I'm going to say this, y'all. Nahshon Wright ain't going to the bench.
Nope.
I just want y'all to know that. Nahshon Wright is the real deal, man. He the real deal. 5 interceptions this year, and he did a real good job on my guy from Pittsburgh, number 4. I can't get Metcalf. He did a good job on him today. And that interception he had at the beginning of the game, that was a silhouette, man. Only a 6'4" corner can make that play. So
that was a hell of an interception.
It was ballerina-esque.
And Alan is cooking right now. We're gonna talk about Nahshon Wright because he's already been talked about. But it makes you think, Bobby. We drafted Zay Frazier. He's about 6'3", 6'4". So now you got an idea of what Dennis Allen wants in his defense. But just what's your thoughts on Nahshon today? How he played, man, because he's coming up with big plays and interceptions almost every game. It seems like he get one of them, right?
Hey, Nahshon been receiving a lot of criticism from a lot of Chicago Bears people, including myself. But at the end of the day, can you make a play? So I'm telling myself, shut up. I'm telling myself, shut up, because each and every week this man is making a play. Whether you agree with him with blown coverages or big plays down the field, he has 5 interceptions on the season. That is huge for a cornerback like Nahshon Wright. So we got to show a lot of love to him. And I criticized him for giving up big plays in certain moments. But at the end of the day, when the play needs to be made, Nahshon Wright has been right there to make a play. We talk about Tyreek Stevenson. We talk about Tyreek Stevenson, who has made plays. And my co-host on Chicago Bears Central, C-Dub, said that Tyreek Stevenson made one of the best plays of the season when he took the ball away from that offensive player versus the
on the sideline
Cowboys, I think.
Exactly.
The Cowboys.
Versus the Cowboys. But you look at Nahshon Wright, he might give up a play here and there, but at the end of the day, he makes plays to help the win. Yeah. That play that interception today was a
Big
catch
time.
as if he was a wide receiver.
Mhm.
And when we remember and we go back to the Washington Commanders game, when Jaden Daniels fumbled the ball, who picked up the ball?
Mhm.
Nation Wright.
Nation
So we
Wright.
gotta show love and give credit where credit is due, regardless of how you feel about him on each and every down. You gotta show love for a guy stepping up and making plays. And shout out to him for playing with a heavy heart over the last few weeks.
Man, and well said, Bobby. And then, Andy, we got to talk about how he was coming down in the run game today tackling. He was coming down tackling on crucial plays.
That's what got on my nerves, G Walker. I ain't gonna lie. Today, that's what got on my nerves in quarter 1 and quarter 2.
To the run game? What you mean?
With tackling downhill.
Oh,
Tackling
yeah.
downhill.
Yes, but to your point, to your thought, Dennis Allen saw the same thing. He said, "You know what? I'm gonna bring Nahshon down to help with some of the tackling." So, Andy, did you notice that today? I didn't expect to see that from Nahshon to come down and tackle. That was dope. But go ahead, Andy.
Yes, like I said earlier, I think for his contract, he's an absolute steal.
Facts.
Absolute steal. I think Shaw said it was $2.4 million for 1 year. I mean, that's a steal. We've already got our bang for our buck with him.
Mm-hmm.
He's 6'4". I love his size more than anything. I mean, you can see Dennis Allen likes big corners. As Bobby said, he will make some boneheaded plays and blow some coverages, but overall, I think he's played very well. And for $2.4 million, he's been a steal, an absolute steal. And that gives us a lot of cornerback depth if we can get Gordon back and Jalen Johnson back and Stevenson fully healthy. He got taken out today. And that gives us 4 pretty good corners along with Gardner Johnson.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good cornerback room if we can get them all healthy on the field. That's pretty damn good.
I think that's coming Friday, Andy. Not gonna lie.
So we've been going for an hour and 30 minutes. Shout out to everybody. Gonna get Alan's take on DJ Moore today. We got Bella that came in here. Honey, shout out to my girl Honey McMahon. She was posted the stream down and live, man. You've been down with us ever since I moved the platform on Twitter, man. Who else? We got Audrey saying, "What's up? CNG podcast, bear down, love it, man." So Alan, man, you know, a lot of people feel a lot of ways about DJ Moore, man. How it may go down, how anybody may kind of feel about it. Just what was your thoughts on today about DJ Moore? Like, Caleb, like he actually targeted him today. Like, you know, is that a Ben Johnson thing? It don't really matter, but just what's your overall thoughts, man? Because he is a factor in this offense. Some people want, let's trade DJ. Let's trade DJ. You have to utilize DJ. I might have my feelings about him. How I feel about DJ, I just think down the road we're not going to be able to keep him because you still got Luther Burton that's coming up in the ranks. I don't think we're going to keep him, but he's on a team right now this season. His contract is huge. DJ's not going anywhere. But just speak on what you saw from DJ today, man. You know, you got 2 tutties, man.
Yeah, DJ was doing a good job, man. I think it was more so the play calling today. That touchdown, the one where they were all sides, he just attacked the safety. The safety got occupied with the tight end crosser, and he just went down the field. And it looked like they were trying to get a single high look, but that safety was out of position, and DJ just ran down the hash. So that was a good play by Ben scheming him open. And you know, DJ is, you know, like I said, I got to see fire on DJ this year, man, because he's a tough ass dude, man. And, you know, he's being a professional above anything because he's not getting the targets that he once was, and he's catering to the offense. So I can't really complain about him this year. He deserves a game in here and there with 2 touchdowns and stuff. He deserves that. And so going forward, he's going to have to touch the ball more. But right now, y'all, I'm just happy getting a win every week. You know, because, man, we're just piecing together this team, man. And we're 8-3, and we're really piecing these games together. You know, today was not a complete game, but it was a well-coached game. The only thing I was upset with Ben today, I thought Mike Tomlin was going to out-scheme him that last 2 minutes.
Ooh.
When he threw the ball on 3rd down, I'm like, Ben, run the football. Bury that 3rd timeout. I know he was itching. He said, I can get this 1st down. No. Run the football. Mike Tomlin already set the stage on the chessboard. Go ahead and take all his timeouts away with a quarterback that does not start. Now, if that was Aaron Rodgers, go for the pass. But the quarterback, we've been kind of in his pocket all day. Go ahead, run the football. We could have took off 15 seconds easy. So just going forward, those little things like that, a guy like Mike Tomlin can pull a game out on you if you're not careful. So Ben's got to kind of know next time, if I got a guy on the run like that, finish that run play, 3rd and 7, man, go ahead and hand the ball off again so we can get 10 seconds off the clock. That way, they wouldn't have had time because they got a field goal kick and kick from the half. He can kick from midfield. So we got to be careful with that next time. We got away with it today, but those are the little things I want Ben to kind of pull himself back and go ahead, just be game manager inside 4 minutes. It's all about game management.
Man, I love it. 100%. Man, anybody got anything they want to add to that, man? We can get ready to get up out of here, man.
I just wanted to say, I think that like when we talk about Caleb Williams, we also got to think about the defense as well. Like this defense for the first 2 quarters, or we can go, and to be fair, the first quarter and a half, they allowed Rudolph to dink and dunk, and they were failing to make open field tackles.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm bringing it up is to simply say, like, to go back to an earlier point to where Shad brought up, and like I said, I 100% agree with Shad. Our quarterback has to be that guy. And the reason I bring it up is simply because if our defense was able to handle the dink and dunk game, this game is over in 17 points. Real talk. But it's still like, and I never disagree with Shad when he says that our quarterback has to be better, simply because on that drive that you gave up, that sack, fumble, that end zone touchdown, you knew. Soon as you seen white jersey, you supposed to throw that ball up.
Throw it
out to the sideline. That's progression. You supposed to give that up. You can't outrun everybody, bro. Real talk. We seen him be great. We seen him be Houdini. But TJ Watt, and in a couple weeks, Myles Garrett coming up. And then in a few weeks, you got Micah Parsons coming up. And then you got Aiden Hutchinson coming up. Bro, you not going to be able to do the spin out Houdini move and make a play. You got to get rid of the football. So that's why that's where I would agree with Shad, because I love the guy. The guy's cold. He cold.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I think that Caleb Williams need to understand that in certain situations, teams are going to be game planning throughout the week for those spin outs that you do, because they seen it so much. So if I'm a coach, Allen's a coach, Shad is a coach, G Walker's a coach, Andy, CJ, we're going to say, hey, I don't give a damn if it is the practice squad quarterback. Get his ass in here. We going to go out there and we going to simulate some pressures or whatever it is that the Bears quarterback do, and we're going to attack the ball. And that practice that they did all week showed us that Mike Tomlin prepared for this game for Caleb Williams to spin out of the pocket and be Houdini. And guess what? It got him 7 points. So Caleb Williams has to understand that, hey, if it's not there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, step up, hitch, throw, I got to throw it out of bounds. If it's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, step up, hitch, throw, depending on who you're playing against, the ball has to go out of bounds. Period. You can't do that against game wreckers. Everybody on this panel know you can have a game plan versus game wrecker. Max Crosby, Myles Garrett, Micah Parsons, so on and so forth. But game wreckers, you can't game plan for them. You have to take care of the football. And he should learn this moving forward. So that's the biggest thing for me.
And you know what? And that's why I was saying, Bobby, that was probably one of the most crucial things that he has to learn from, based on how he likes to play that type of style. spin around, backyard football. But you said you got Aiden Hutchinson. You know what I'm saying? You got Myles Garrett coming. You got Micah Parsons. You got all these dudes that's coming. So if there was ever a moment in time where you said, you know what? If I'm Ben Johnson, you got to grow up right there, bro. You got to grow up right there. That shit over with today. That's the last time you're doing that. Because he's going to get away with it probably 8 times out of 10, 9 times out of 10. But if he wants to grow as a quarterback and grow his talent, because he is elusive, he does have a strong arm. But at the end of the day, bro, you want to protect the football. Right. You just want to protect the football and not put your team in harm's way to where you're giving up a touchdown in your own in the back of the end zone, bro. That was one of the most, outside of him probably having to be accurate, outside of him having to be on time, the operation, that right there, if you're looking for a growth moment that particular quarterback needs, based on what his talent is, bro, that right there, that shit got to stop, Bobby. That's it. Like, he going to grow from that. Go ahead, Bobby.
G, for me, that was Caleb Williams' worst play of the season.
Yeah, no, easily.
Yeah. For me, because you know who you're going against. TJ Watt is not a scrub. He is not, Bobby. He is not just a guy that's highly paid. He's a guy that can wreck your game plan. And if a guy that you face can wreck your game plan, you have to know when to take the hit and make the pass or throw the ball away and live to fight for another down. And that's why I agree with Shy. And I've always be saying that bro be cooking, because Shy come in and he say, hey, I understand this, but I also feel that Caleb Williams has to understand that in this situation, you got to throw the ball away and live to fight for another down. Because us as football watchers, we say, look, everything ain't perfect. But if you live to fight another down, we'll take that as a W.
And that was the worst. Like, if you're a football player and I'm a quarterback, a little bit of my ego is hurt. God damn, TJ, you ain't have to flip me. You ain't have to flip me, big dog. God damn. Like, I'd have been like, you know what? I'm done. I'm taking that clip. If I'm a competitor and I'm trying to get better, and if I'm Ben Johnson, I'm putting that clip, how his ass is flipped, or take a screenshot of that picture in the practice room and be like, hey, look at Caleb, y'all. Got his ass flipped.
That's
clip
like, number one, man. That's clip number one before we face the Eagles Friday.
Yeah, bro. Like, cause you got the Jalen them. Yeah, it's unbelievable the amount of yeah, bro. Caleb, I think he's gonna grow from that, bro. I really think he's gonna grow from that. And I think he's really gonna gonna get that this time. He'll never do that shit again.
You know what I want?
What's your final thoughts, bro? Go ahead, Alan. We're gonna get up out of here.
Yeah, it's gonna be real quick. I just want to add to Caleb. I'm big on Caleb's operation, and that situation where we could have been 3rd and 2, and we could have got the first down, but everybody was unset on the offense, and the ball was hiked. Yeah, I'm like, man, what the? I'm like,
that's another one.
Breathe. You have to breathe in that instance right there. Like, breathe. Like, I'm like, you can. It used to be where the receiver used to tap you on the waist going back. Like, if it's a motion, you wait. It's a tap on the hip, and you do a click, then hike the ball. That means he's away from the tackle box. But I'm trying to figure out, where does Caleb mind be sometimes? That's not nobody's fault for the quarterback. Like, throwing the ball around the yard, that's one thing. But operation is the main source of energy for a fucking offense. It's operation. His operation drives me nuts. But and this is stuff that you learn from Pop Warner, high school, college. Like, this is getting old. We're going into week 13, and we still have operation in team. Like, this is getting old, man. And this could have cost us a game. So, that's my soapbox, man. That's just my Caleb soapbox for today. I still love you, Caleb, but we got to get better, man.
Shy, man, just what's your final thoughts on anything, Shy, man? What you got, big dog?
Man, everything was well articulated. Appreciate the positivity, man. I want the city to know that I just want to be a part of the narrative, and I don't want to be the bad guy. But I'm gonna always be honest as I possibly can. I think 18 has been great this year. In terms of the expectations coming into the season, he's exceeded those. However, I'm not a dude that looks at I don't look at the box, just at the score box, or look at the analytics at the end of the game. We go look at the tape. But before we even go look at the tape, the first thing I do is off my eye test. When I'm looking at him getting better is that I look at him being more polished in good situations of the game. There's always going to be third downs and critical situations in the red zone where I'm looking at him to be the best player on one play that helps their team perform at a higher level on the other side. You got to know that you've been practicing against these guys being tagged on the end as a point of emphasis for you. At that point on the field, man, those type of hiccups, they stay with me because there's no explanation for it. You get what I'm saying? As a playing at a quarterback at a high level, that cannot be tolerated on any level. Because let's say in a game situation, an NFC title game, that happens. And that's why you lose. Development goes out the window. You just become another GOAT of Chicago quarterbacks. So what I want him to do is understand not putting himself in that situation and start developing good habits. And he has time to do that. But the problem is, I have a list called We Break You, named after Bane, because these dudes break backs, man. Myles Garrett ain't gonna play with you, man. Carter from Philly ain't finna play with you, man. They not. And even though he's shown the physical gifts to be able to avoid a lot of nasty hits, today we saw one where he thought it was cute to just walk off the sideline. And he lucky it was just Jalen Ramsey. We looking for a flag, but in all actuality on the field, he left himself defenseless. That's a dumb play for me. It's a knucklehead play for a quarterback that I need to have understood that even though you won, young man, and everything you said at the post game was valid about you having an off day, but you've been great at these plays. You're right. But I want you to understand that there's 3 things that you did today that cannot happen if I'm going to pay you to do your job, sir. So somebody just needs to have that conversation. From that guy so big. I'm just saying, Big Bro got his back, man. I got a problem with Ben Johnson. Ain't nobody say nothing about it. I think he abandoned the run game because he got scared of Tomlin. How about that?
Hey,
no reason to average a buck 50.
Can I interject? Shot.
Please.
Can I interject? I know we running long, and I know G Walker want to go ahead and end it. But
no, I mean, I always want to end it because I'm always like I'm the producer, so I'm always cautious of people's time. So, but that's up to y'all if y'all keep going. You know,
no, I just want to pick the panel's brain real quick, just to see what everybody is thinking, because in the second quarter, to start the second quarter, their first drive, me and my guys, we like Ben Johnson, run the rock. Ben Johnson says, no, I'm going to pass the ball. I'm going to pass the ball.
On 2nd and 9.
And then, and it wasn't necessarily perfect. I can admit that. It wasn't necessarily perfect, but my train of thought was trying to look into the state of the head coach and saying, let me get my young quarterback in rhythm. So Ben Johnson, instead of running the ball to go ahead and, tie the game at 14-all, Ben Johnson went out there and threw the ball. So my question to Shad is, do you think that Ben Johnson, although us as fans want to look at him and say, hey, run the ball, do you think that today's Ben Johnson plan with him saying, let me get my quarterback in rhythm in that second quarter? Because if we keep it real, second quarter was when Caleb started to get going, not necessarily perfect throughout the game, but get going. Do you think that was necessary in your opinion?
You talking second possession of the game for the Bears offensively?
In the second quarter. I think that was like possession 3 or 4.
Okay. All right. So had Pittsburgh scored that twice yet? Was it 14 14-7?
It was 14-7, if I recall correctly. It was
Okay.
14.
Yeah. Okay. I understood what the decision, but that wasn't the assignment. You walked into this game averaging $150 on the ground. I think had you gone ahead and put your foot down early, and broke open some runs like they had done traditionally in the first half of games, they average almost 80 yards in first halves, which is a very good number for your run game. I think that you have more comfortable Caleb in the second, and maybe in those third quarter, early in the third, as well as early in the fourth, maybe you convert a touchdown instead of field goal. Okay, so for me, I'm looking at it the opposite way. Let the game dictate the flow. Don't cater to the quarterback. See, I'm not one that would put pair of shoes on the quarterback. I don't like training wheels. If we're gonna do that, then I'd have him bootlegging 50% of the game. We throwing it 35 times. I'd have him bootlegging 20. Because he ain't giving me 20 completions from the pocket. So I might as well dummy the playbook down like we do other quarterbacks. But we ain't gonna go there. So I'm gonna just say that I would have liked to see if he believed in his offensive line against a stout defensive line or a defensive front, and you really believed in that run game. So if you need to call third and short or third and intermediate, that you would run the ball and not try to trick a motherfucker and run the ball. See, that's the Matt Nagy persuasion that's still left in the back of my mind that I hope Ben Johnson don't have in his DNA. But it's something I'm keeping and being mindful for. All right, that's all I'm gonna say.
Andy, what you got, man? You got anything, Andy? Final thoughts?
I don't even know what to say after this.
Yeah, they going in, man. Hey, tonight, man. You know, guys are speaking their mind. They got a lot of valid points.
No.
You know, Shad gonna cook. So we got to get everybody a round of applause, man. Shad,
yeah,
Bobby, CJ, Andy. You know what I'm saying? This is a great show, man. 213 people in here. It's been reposted, reshared 3-4 times, man. So great job, man. But go ahead, big dog.
I mean, first off, G Walker, thank you for letting me on your show as always. It's been an honor, a privilege as always, speaking with these guys. I hope everybody watching realizes, you know, at the end of the day, we're fans, and we want this team to win because we're tired of them losing year after year after year after year.
100%.
I mean, that to me is the most important thing. We can sit here and nitpick this and nitpick that, but to me personally, I said this on my show Tuesday night, G Walker, you're on. We're 8-3. We're leading the NFC North right now. When was the last time we said that? November. So like I said,
man, 2018.
Yeah, I'm just going to enjoy the ride. I think we're a flawed team. I think our defense is our Achilles heel. I think we're a year ahead of time, a year ahead of schedule. But I'm just going to enjoy the ride and see where it ends up. Like I said, I don't think we're a Super Bowl team at all. The defense tells me we're not even close yet, but I'm just going to choose to enjoy the ride, enjoy 8-3, and go Bears. That's my final thoughts.
Yeah, and well said, man. And my final thoughts is going to be this right here. Caleb Williams continues to grow. Caleb Williams continues to make mistakes. But what Caleb Williams is not doing right now is throwing interceptions. Caleb Williams right now is running when he needs to run. You know what I mean? He's good in the red zone today. This league is a once a game, once a week league to me, personally. That's how I see it. That's how I see it right now. Like, we could talk about the macro, we could talk about the micro, but what I'm gonna talk about is what's going on right now. Caleb Williams is 1 year under Ben Johnson. His defense is being put together and held together by, as Alan said, sticks and bubble gum, man. Ben Johnson, no, he's not a perfect play caller. He doesn't always call the right plays all the time. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't happen. The special teams is not always good. It's a lot of things that we can sit up here and talk about and complain about and just talk about, because that's what we do. We love it. But at the end of the day, it's all about the W's, man. We are number one in the NFC North, man. And I think we might have jumped up to, I don't know what NFC North, NFC we are today as far as playoffs. Things have to be cleaned up in order for us to get to the promised land. And I agree with Shad totally with that. And it has to happen soon. The thing that Caleb did in that end zone today was the absolute worst thing I could ever see from a quarterback, besides him rolling out and trying to roll to the right and throwing in the middle of the field for an interception. that mistake he made today, he's going to kill himself over that, man. He is never going to forgive himself for that, and it's understandable. He's way too talented. He has way too much potential, and he has way too much promise to be having mental lapses like that. To Allen's point, the operation has to be cleaner from Caleb Williams, man. The delay of the game, the end zone turnover, like, what are you thinking about in the game? Like, dude, you have to learn how to calm down, because for the rest of the way, these are basically might be some type of playoff games, bro. You still got to play the Packers. You got to play Myles Garrett. You got to play Aiden Hutchinson. You got to play Michael Parsons in that defense. Dude, I don't know what Caleb Williams needs to do. To Shad's point, the critical mistakes cannot happen. They can't continue to compound us during the game. I don't know what else to say about that from Caleb Williams, because you can't be the reason why we lose the game, bro. We already got the defense that's terrible. That's it's a wet Dorito that just can't really get stops, bro. We need to depend on Caleb Williams to be the difference maker, bro, and not the reason why we continue to slide and regress. He cannot be that way, bro. He cannot. And those are my final thoughts. I don't know who else went. CJ, you got your final thoughts, bro?
No, I didn't go yet.
Well, go ahead, see.
I mean, the only thing I can say is that the running game has to continue to be used. I think that's the only way the offense is going to succeed moving forward. And hopefully we can get everybody back on defense, man, because I was surprised by the defense today. I was very surprised how the way they came out, how the way those linebackers came out and looked. So I think those two things that if the Bears can focus on as far as getting everybody back healthy on the defense and keeping that running game consistent, because that's what's really keeping the offense going, then the Bears will be winning, whether it be in the regular season or the playoffs.
Yeah, man, I agree, man. I agree. I totally agree. I totally agree. And with that being said, man, we're gonna get up out of here, man. It's been a great post-game show. It's been a great, like, every single thing from today, man. The Bears continue to win, Andy, Shad, Bobby. Like, we continue to win games. I think the culture has been set. I think the foundation is set. I think we're going to get better as the season goes. I believe that from Ben Johnson. And I think Caleb is going to continue to grow. I just think he is, man. I just think he's going to continue. I think he has a lot of humble pie that he needs to eat. Because every time I'm seeing him, it's like he's not taking the humble pie and understanding, like, bro, you're going to have to eat this shit, bro. They're scheming for you for the spin around, like Bobby said. They know you're elusive, bro. You're going to have to eventually beat a team with your arm downfield without the run game. It's got to happen. And I'm only believing in that because he's still young and it's the first year. Now, come year 3, year 4, like I do any other player on our team, he is what he is. But for right now, he still has potential to grow. We're going to have to win with his arm early in games. He can't be missing wide open layups, just missing. You can't do it, Caleb. That's all I already got. So, Bobby, tell the people where they can find you, bro.
Y'all can find me on NFL Central, covering the entire NFL with my co-host Steve-O, breaking down the latest narratives and storylines around the entire NFL on NFL Central. For your Chicago Bears content, Chicago Bears Central, and for your Bulls content, for my Chicago people, Shy Bulls Podcast, man. It's always a pleasure to represent and rock with the guys at CNG. So I appreciate y'all for always having me on, brothers. Appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir. Andy, man, tell the people where they can find you, bro.
You can find myself, Clarence, and Todd on the Bears Den podcast. You can find us on X, YouTube, and Facebook. We usually do our shows on Tuesday nights.
There you go. You got it right there, man. And we're going to get up out of here. Shaw, tell the people where they can find you, bro.
Peace and love to the CNG podcast. Appreciate joining everybody. The fellas are always a pleasure. Shot on Sports or Shot from the South Side on all your social media platforms. You can always catch me in CNG content. All 22 will be out this week. It should be a fun one. We'll holler at them, man.
Yeah, we're going to get on that all 22, bro. I can't wait for you to get on that, bro. That shit is always fun, man. For real. But, hey, we're going to get up out of here, man. We appreciate everybody that came in here tonight, man, who shared, who retweeted, who posted. We appreciate everybody that came in here, man. So with that being said, I'm going to just shout out Bella, appreciate you. So Back Sports, I appreciate you. Down to Live coming in here, man, said great post-game show, man. Alec Baldwin, man, we appreciate you, man. We're going on 2 hours. Pretty dope, man. We give the people the content. They stay. We're going to be up here, man. A lot of smart men up here on this podcast. Shot, super smart, plays safety. We got Allen, O-lineman, coached it. Shot, coached it. You know what I'm saying? Bobby played it. I'm a student of the game. Andy, OG, he played it, coached it. So CJ played it, coached it. So what you get from us when we put all these people up here is people that know the game, man, from every angle. So if it takes 2 hours sometimes, and I don't want to get off on an hour, I understand because these brothers know what they're talking about, and I'm always sensitive to that. As long as they want to stay on, we will stay on. But with that being said, we're going to get up out of here, man. I'm G Walker. That's CJ. That's Allen. That's Bobby. That's Shad. And that is Andy. And we're going to get up out of here, man. God bless y'all. Peace. One love.